Now, I'd like to pose a question to you. If you had, say, £43,000 to spend on a new car, which is a lot of money, what sort of vehicle would you buy? Well, no doubt it would be an aspirational vehicle. It might be a prestigious manufacturer, a sports car, a luxury saloon, or a 4x4 off-road vehicle. Now, you might go for either of these two. First of all, the Mercedes ML430 or the Porsche Boxster S. They cost about the same sort of money. Now, if you have kids, then you've got to go for something like this, for instance, because that's a pure two-seater. But if you haven't got kids and you've got that sort of money to spend, do you go for a 4x4 off-road luxury vehicle or an open-top car that has lots and lots of fun motoring in prospect? This is going to be a tough decision, I can see. Mercedes introduced their M-Class some 2 years ago, initially with a 3.2-litre engine. But the cry went up, give us more power, give us a car that can really compete with the creme de la creme of off-roaders, the Range Rover. So the ML430 arrived with an 8-cylinder engine and 268 brake horsepower under the bonnet. I've begun to notice in the more fashionable parts of our towns and cities that the M-Class seems to be taking over as the ultimate off-road status symbol from the Range Rover, particularly on the school run, for instance. And it's a car that goes pretty quick, actually. If you want to have a bit of fun, you can. 0 to 60 comes up in under 8 seconds, a top speed of 130 miles an hour. Unsurprisingly, for a V8 engine, it's pretty thirsty, with about 20 to the gallon as your average. And I do like the exterior styling of this car. It has a sort of Tonka toy image, but it's safe, it's secure, and offers bags of room for a family. Standard specification is high, and so it should be for £43,000. ABS, 5-speed auto with Tiptronic function if you want to have a play around, also side airbags, large alloy wheels, and lots more besides. But as you drive along up high, coming towards you in the distance is a sports car. The sun is shining, the top is down, and you begin to wonder whether a Porsche Boxster S might have been a better buy. Well, yes, the Boxster S might well have been a better buy, particularly given that Porsche have just knocked 10% off the prices of all their cars recently. Now, that's brought the price of this S down from £42,000 to just over £38,000, which really represents pretty good value for money. Standard on the S, you get 17-inch alloys and air conditioning, but by the time you've added a few extra goodies, it does bump the price up considerably. For instance, most people generally add 18-inch alloy wheels, leather sports seats, a CD player, onboard computer, and so on. And by the time you've done that, they'll be saying that's another £5,000, sir. The Boxster S has only been around since October 1999. The standard Boxster, of course, is brilliant, but the S just gives you that extra icing on top of the cake. The critical figures in terms of performance, 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, top speed 161 miles per hour, 252 brake horsepower from that 3.2-litre engine, which sounds so sweet and just wants to be revved and revved and revved. The Boxster for me is unlike most other sports cars in that it's very, very usable every day for the commute to work or cruising down the motorway. And if the sun is shining, 12 seconds is all it takes to get the roof up or down. And that also just transforms the car completely. I think it was a very smart and bold move by Porsche to bring down their prices, not before time too, but the market for any Porsche is still very, very strong, with waiting lists for new cars of generally about 8 to 10 months, sometimes even longer. And that means pretty solid residual values remain, something that Porsche have always been good at. To handle the extra power, the S gets larger cross-drill brakes from the 911 and a 6-speed gearbox, along with a revised chassis, which gives this car almost perfect handling. Of course, you buy a car like this to really exploit the handling and speed on your favourite roads, and it is a lot of fun. The gearbox is slick, the engine responsive, and with hardly any hint of either understeer or oversteer. Find that favourite corner or roundabout, and you find yourself pushing that bit further each time. Now, some car magazines would have you think that if you like something, say like the M-Class, you'd also have to consider other cars in the same sort of bracket, like the Range Rover, the Land Cruiser or the Shogun. But hey, no! Why not broaden your horizons out? Think of other possibilities. Cars in different classes, for instance. Find the car that's right for you. If space isn't a problem, consider something like this, the Boxster S. It's fun, it's fast, and it gives you a great tan. A sunbed may be cheaper, but it's far more boring.